Still got the hands free, it was so good. Spark run down by Tiana Smith, but not before she kicks another.
To Conway, has a paddock for her at half forward, has a bounce, on the run from 40, take a bow, Sophie Conway.
Taylor Smith for her second. Puts the Royals in front.
They had different ideas, got in each other's way, and Courtney Hodder said, oh, thanks.
Well, it's been a minute, Lions fans. It is JB here from the Brisbane Lions Fancast. I got to admit, I have been enjoying the break a little bit, just getting back to real life, doing some work, hanging out with my little boy, and as much as I love doing the podcast, it has been a bit refreshing to have a nice bit of a break, and I'm sure Patrick is feeling exactly the same. I am, though, at the point, though, where I am missing footy quite a bit, so I try to gather as much intel information, as I said, just try to absorb the grand final as much as I could in the weeks after the grand final. Then I was like, okay, I'm ready to unwind and look forward to a bit of cricket, but now I'm at a point now I was like, okay, I need more footy in my life. Good thing we've got a final series for the AFLW to launch into on the weekend as well, with the first game being against Hawthorn. But I wanted to start this little chat here with a bit of a, I guess, unboxing of sorts. Listeners and people that are paying attention on our socials may know that one of our listeners, James, has put together some merch, some premiership merch. I'll check the link. You can be able to see it here. The Ice Dancers. He's got an Instagram page for all this as well. He was kind enough to send me and Pat a couple of shirts as well. So I'm going to show you those right now. So this is the one that Pat's gone for, the Chris Fagan one. It's got all the quotes there of things that it may or may not have inspired the Lions' journey across 2024. And you know me, you know I love my Froggy Leicester, so I got the Froggy shirt in blue. There you go, the Superman cape there, Froggy 35 with the big premiership ring. Great stuff as well. Anyone knows anything about sort of, I guess, promo shirts and quality and other stuff, this is AS Colour, so nice and comfy fit. A true fit as well, fits really nice, and they feel really good, and they do last. Anyone that's had any sort of merch will know that there is a bit of a difference in the quality. So AS Colour is really good stuff. So those shirts are incredible. You can check out the full range online as well. But let's have a chat about the girls. We did miss out again, second year in a row, on the $1 million prize, the McClellan Trophy. Hawthorn has won that one. It was a bit of an interesting day on Sunday with the live ladder sort of constantly popping up for both games, where we took on St Kilda and beat them fairly convincingly. There was obviously a very strong wind, and quarters 1 and 3 we absolutely made the most of that. 2 and 4, St Kilda got a bit more momentum their way, but wasn't enough to steal the victory. Tay Smith ended up winning alongside Ashley Maloney the goal kicking awards. That's great. Tried to get her a goal in the very dying seconds to have her as the outright winner, but still, it's great. Not something I would have picked at the start of the year. If you had to tell me like who's going to improve the most, I didn't think it would be Taylor Smith, and I thought, for all money, Dax would be the leading goal kicker come the end of the season. So she has improved probably the most this year, along with Ruby Spark. I think Jade Ellinger has come along as well in her new role, playing off the halfback as Lily Postlethwaite and Charlie Mullins. Those guys have been moved around the field and really blossomed in their new positions. And of course, we've had some new players in the team as well. Evie Long has held her spot for a good portion of the season as well since coming in. One thing that probably came as a surprise is Kate Lutkins was available to play this year, only played maybe 1 or 2 games, and just didn't look like it. Unfortunately, looks like the games moved past her. A fantastic, amazing effort for her to get back in playing condition after giving birth last year and starting her family to come back and play again. But it looks like Jenny Dunn has taken her spot, and Poppy Bolts as well has really improved in that back line as well. And that back line with Bree Conan, Nat Grider and Shannon Campbell, of course, is a hard one to crack into. So I wouldn't be surprised if we did see Kate Lutkins retire at the end of this one, unfortunately. She has been an amazing player for such a long time. Obviously, best on ground in the 21 grand final. and a terrific servant for the club, and it's going to be sad to see her go, but it does look like that is probably more likely than unlikely at this stage. But we've got a final series to come up against, and look, let's be honest, it is going to be hard for anyone to beat North Melbourne. They have absolutely dominated this year. Undefeated, they did have a draw in amongst all of that, but their percentage is through the roof. They have kicked high scores, they've kept opposition to low scores. They absolutely towed us up in round one, and they look very much like the team to beat. They obviously took that grand final loss personally at the end of last year, and they're coming back with a vengeance in 2024. So good for them, and I fully expect them to take the whole thing out. I hope we come up against them again, whether that's in a semi-prelim or grand final day again. Who knows? I think we're in with just as good a shot as anyone. It's hard to know what to think about this game coming up against Hawthorn. It looks like both them and us have had relatively easy draws in retrospect. Coming into it, you would have said that we had a much harder draw, and rightly so, the reigning premiers. But a few teams sort of went backwards when we didn't think they would. Sydney, Geelong did. They still played fantastic footy. Very unlucky to miss out on finals, Geelong, because I really think that they would cause some serious disruption and probably worthy of a top 4-6 spot. Just lost a lot of close ones. St Kilda started off like a house on fire and then drifted back into the pack. A lot of injuries just sort of made this what it was. Hawthorn as well had an easy draw. We haven't played Hawthorn at all, so this will be the first meeting in the finals. Like I said, don't know exactly what to think. It's going to be at Icon Park, so no one's home ground advantage. We've got enough experience there, as do Hawthorn as well. I mean, most teams have got enough experience at Icon Park, so I think it'll be a tough game. Obviously, they've got a stacked lineup, and you can thank the Brisbane Lions for a lot of that. Obviously, M. Bates, Greta Bodie, and of course their coach Daniel Webster, all Brisbane Lions graduates. So we're the bit of the footy factory in the AFLW, much like when in the AFL when Hawthorn sort of siphoned out all their assistant coaches, and they all found success. So it's sort of like the reverse here. So I'm really looking forward to this game this weekend against Hawthorn. I think we should win. If nothing else, finals experience. And I just think we're a more mature team. And not to say that Hawthorn's not necessarily mature, but I guess much like in the AFL men's season, I think they're sort of riding their luck to a degree. And I really don't want to take away anything they've done, but I just don't think what they've done so far is completely sustainable into a final series. And look, I could be completely wrong when I say this, and could get found out on the weekend when we take on Hawthorn. But I do think we have enough experience, enough maturity on the park, and the way our games evolved across the year, I think should put us in good stead. I don't think it'll be a blowout. I think maybe we should win by 2 or 3 goals. But anything can happen on the day as well. So you never know. I think that loss to Geelong, as much as it cost us the $1 million, I shouldn't say that. I mean, it's easy enough to point to that as the one that lost us the $1 million, but the men are just as culpable with a couple of their losses across the year as well. So I shouldn't. That's unfair to put it on that loss, but I think that loss came at the right time, because the game before that against the Suns, we didn't exactly look convincing in that game either. Our inside 50s were pretty poor. And we only just got over the line against a really struggling Gold Coast, who they played well that game, but we were nowhere near our best, and we were sort of lucky to get away with that win. We were found out against the Cats the week after. And as has been said by the girls themselves, it's not often that they get 2 losses in a row. They come back hard after a loss with a vengeance, with an attitude, and I fully expect that to continue after the game against the Saints on the weekend. So like I said, I do think we'll win this game. I think it's going to be tough, but I think the maturity will come out. And I think the way our games evolved this year, as I said, sort of early on in the piece, we were really relying on Ali Anderson to have big numbers and win the contest, and get our game going from there. And it showed in the first couple of games where Ali Anderson was just putting up stupid numbers, video game numbers, broke the record for the most touches in that game against the D's. She's our only sort of player doing the job in round 1 against North. And if it wasn't her, it was sort of like, well, Belle Dawes needs to step up a little bit here as well. And she's had a fantastic season. But in the back half of the season, I think Allroad Dwyer going out for those 3 weeks was a bit of a blessing in disguise as well, because it meant Charlie Mullins had to move up the field a little bit, and we've got getting the game from inside to out and spreading the ground and using our wingers really, really effectively and getting our fitness involved, which is what we've been so good at. So, Sophie Conway in the back half of the season she's been pretty consistent all season, but in the back half especially, her running power with Jade Ellinger, with Allroad Dwyer, and with Charlie Mullins, with Lily Postlethwaite as well. The running power and getting the game on the outside has really put us in good stead, and I think it will do again on the weekend. So really looking forward to this final series. I do think we are genuinely the second best team in it, although it is hard to get a read with the form. Adelaide will be thereabouts again as well. I don't necessarily see Essendon making a charge from the bottom half of the 8, or Freo or Port. I think it will be down to us. North Melbourne is the clear favourites, then Daylight, then us, Adelaide and Hawthorn, probably in amongst that sort of second tier as well. But it's going to be a cracking final series. Can't wait for it. Make sure you tuned in. And if you can get to the games, please do, and support the girls, because they have been just a model of consistency and excellence since entering the competition in 2017. I think we've missed out on the finals once. No matter how many list changes we've had over the years, we are there again. And Craig Starcevich is just an amazing coach, and I really hope he doesn't get poached along the line, and I really hope he can stay on board for the long term. I'll try and keep doing these videos over the next couple of weeks. I know I've been a bit sort of lax on it over the last couple, and that's on me. I've been a bit sick and just getting back to real life outside the footy season. But no, I'm thoroughly enjoying watching the girls, as I do each and every year. Once again, make sure you check out James and the fantastic work he's done as well. Froggy shirt, absolutely amazing. I know there's a Charlie Cameron one, there's a Joe Danaher one, there's a Premier's one. Check out the full range. Once again, the links, I'll chuck it in the description. I'll put it up here for you as well. And thanks everyone again for a great 2024, for listening in, for interacting, for being part of the show, and really can't wait to get it going again, and hopefully seeing how the Lions can go back to back in 2025. Fingers crossed. Catch you soon.